Good morning and welcome to a new day on Signature TV and of course your favorite weekend show where we promise to keep you inspired and informed. Don't forget that with new day comes new opportunities, new thoughts, new ideas and new possibilities. So you will want to stay glued to your TV for the rest of the show. I'm your host Chigichi Agoram and we want you to be a part of this conversation actively. So I invite you to go on over to our social media platforms on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, across board at Signature TV or Official. Go like, comment, share. We want to hear from you. And of course, hit the subscribe button. Don't go anywhere. New day continues after now. But we're also live 247 on SLTV Channel 265. And you can download the Signature TV app from your Google Play Store. So don't go anywhere. New day continues after now with our newspaper headlines and review. Stay with us. And if you're just joining us, this is still New Day on Signature TV. I'm still Chigichi Agoram. Welcome to our newspaper headlines and review. First up, Blueprint Weekend. JAMB, WAEC, glitches. What experts are saying as CBT, SSCE Beckons. With riders, CBT tests will curb examination malpractices coming from Ngene. It's not suitable for some disciplines. It's an initiative that is premature coming from lecturer, can be found on pages 8 and 9 of Blueprint Weekend. Moving on, I am not into acting for money, but for passion, coming from Malam Hassan. On page 17, Nigeria's inflation rate eased to 21.88% in July, coming from National Bureau of Statistics. Still ahead on Blueprint Weekend, Canadian court didn't call our party terrorist organization, coming from APC. And with Tinubu's policies, we are now developing a maritime logistic hub in Nigeria, coming from Akuta. And finally, on the Blueprint Weekend, equity market closes lower and sheds 425 billion naira. Next up, Saturday, Independent. Just above the mast, Ministry of Agri Partners and DLEA on alternatives to illicit drugs, rehabilitation of drug users on page 22. Pregnancy. I was always worried about being the oldest parent in the room, coming from Toke Makinwa on page 15. Below the Saturday Independent mast, Lion in Silhouette, UNN silent struggle with infrastructure decay. Page 8. Lagos Energy Global Stage. Why my second? I'll take that again. Lagos Energy Global Stage. Why my sound knows no borders. Coming from Uzuazo. Page 9. ADC blasts federal government for ignoring message in Okonjo-Iweala's comment. Page 3. British Airways drops 58 London-bound passengers over faulty door. Page 4. Chief Konro, legendary Yoruba actor, passes away at 72. Page 6. And finally, on Saturday Independent, Nigeria's inflation rate eases to 21.88% in July, but food prices remain stubbornly high. Page 7. Over to Saturday Tribune. Above the mast, seized local government allegations or Shonovas broke. Can't pay salaries. Page 4. Below the mast, by-elections, ADC, APC, PDP chieftains test strength as polls hold in 12 states. With rider, IGP orders watertight security. Page 3. Still on Saturday Tribune, Kwara bandit attackers came from Zamfara, according to Mieti Allah, president. Page 8. Fire got Ayefele's music house. Page 7. Woman tells Ibadan court, I worked hard abroad in order to pay house rent, even though my husband is alive. Page 12 and 21. Over to the Weekend Trust, below the mast. On insurgency, wives of slain soldiers speak, page 12. After court order, INEC includes SDP for by-elections today, page 40. And 12 killed, 5 injured in Kano trailer crash, page 20. How APC's coerces opposition politicians and reviving textile without cotton, why efforts fail, page 12. Still on Weekend Trusts, Kano residents take on phone thieves, page 34. And finally, Power Minister's mansion celebrated at Hour of Darkness, page 33. Next, Saturday Punch. On entertainment, Toke Makinwa's baby bomb triggers questions about lover's identity, page 17. Homosexuality scandal rocks Nigerian Catholic Church. With writer, how Reverend Father sexually abused me, coming from former altar boy. Flight fury, inside story of Kwamwan Emerson's pardon. With writers, how powers that be compelled Fuji musicians' apology, and real reason federal government withdrew charges against female passenger, and I've forgiven everyone, says Emerson. Help, my sister vanished after meeting hotel guests, coming from brother. Shango's festival, where ancient rites ignite fire and thunder, pages 20 and 21. Go and sin no more, CSC tells Pastor Fatoyibo after gaffe. And finally on Saturday Punch, federal government blasts Canada over reckless terrorist tag on PDP and APC. Next up, Saturday Times. Prisoner voting and Nigeria's readiness, the landmines ahead of INEC, page 8. Still on entertainment, Toke Makinwa stuns social media with pregnancy announcements. Rescued Nigerians allege sexual abuse on paid wages by Chinese employers in CAR, page 2. Health workers' welfare tops agenda as federal government opens talks with NMA, Johesu, and NAM, page 6. Nigeria sets 7% GDP growth target as oil sector attracts $800 billion, page 10. And court retrieves 40 government vehicles from former ex-Zamfara governor Matawale, page 6. And finally, on Saturday Times, PSG closing on Super Falcons star Rashidat Ajibade, page 16. The Matrix, Okonjo-Iweala, a due chart path for trade-led economic growth. On sports, EPL drama returns as Liverpool leave it late to beat Bournemouth. Okay. Veteran actor Chief Conron dies weeks to 70th birthday. Still on the Matrix, economic stability under Tinubu claims. Obi counters Okonjo-Iweala. The trader says FDI to Nigeria declines amidst unending global gallivanting and uncoordinated reforms. For fourth consecutive time, Nigeria's inflation rate dips, now 21.8%, according to National Bureau of Statistics. Still on the Matrix, diplomatic row brews as federal government rejects Canadian court terrorist label, with riders federal government baseless terror claims threaten Nigeria's democracy and demands retraction. We were not labeled a terrorist organization, according to APC. Dangote Cement assures support for Fina's sisters after truck accident. We must send APC Tinubu parking in 2027, says Tambowal as he returns to Sokoto. 12 dead, 5 injured in Kano trailer crash, FRSC confirms. And finally, on the Matrix, NMPP flays INEC over failure to recognize elected party executives. Finally, the Guardian Weekend. On special feature, why the rise of post-delivery health complications must be tamed. On politics, road vivo, street renaming controversy is smokescreen to distract from governance issues. Still on the Guardian weekend, how global cannabis boom fuels illicit drug use in West Africa, page 4. Terrorist tag, federal government flees Canada over court designation of political parties. In other news, Tinubu's policy reforms prevented economy from collapsing, says Dawn. Time for our one-sided stories on the back page. And the LEA, a Greek ministry partner on alternatives to cannabis farming and rehabilitation of illicit drug users. On by-elections, police announced movement restrictions in Kaduna, Anambra, Ogun, and Edo State, page 52. And that's the much you can take on our newspaper headlines this morning. And Chris, the Oracle Maduka, is in the studio to do justice to our newspaper review. Good morning, Chris, and thank you for being here once again.
Good morning, Chigi, and good morning, the world. We are here again on a new day, and we are talking about the newspaper headlines. So I'm here.
Yes.
Chigi, let's fire the fire.
Let's go. So, you take the lead.
Yeah, made some mental notes here. From Blueprint, we have JAMB, WAEC, CBT, and what most people are saying, experts said some disciplines are not well fitted for CBT, meaning that CBT might not capture what the essence of certain sub-disciplines and subjects in an exam situation where at that basic or mid-basic level, you want to test the students' knowledge of that. And the WAEC started well when they started with alternative to practical. Some find out then that some schools do not have labs for science, and they will give them their practical exams on paper, while the ones who have labs will do their biology, chemistry, physics, practicals inside those labs. And it was going well until the madness of CBT came. Now, this, I don't have any issue with CBT, so that because I have attacked this several times, and people will think, I am saying, if you want to introduce CBT, you will know that that's where somebody says, the lecturer says the initiative is premature. That is, it rings bell. It is not suitable for some disciplines. I've given the example. Some young Nigerians who are to take these exams are not, there's either the basics, the school where they are coming from cannot compete. If you, as an examination organizer, know you put it as an alternative, it's people who can take it, and you start, and you give deadline. You give a deadline. We are introducing CBT for WAEC and JAMB. Let's do it over 10 years. And we are starting from schools in the municipalities and urban centers. And we go to peri-urban before we go to the interiors. Before 10 years, the government of these schools know what is coming to them. The owners, even if they are private owners, if it's community owned, they will know what to do to at least make the students to be able to compete in that kind of exam. But before you say CBT, JAMB and WAEC are going with it, playing with the life of so many young Nigerians. I have asked WAEC, the ones that are failed, and they went back in door to do abracadabra and got 63%. Where will those what are they telling the world? Somebody scored 37.8% in an exam. There was uproar because there was mass failure. Most people do not understand what they're being tested with. The machinery, the process was bad. And this is what they're doing. Why are they playing with the lives of young people? Why are they experimenting with their lives? It's a time bomb. And someday, anybody who will be left will be visited by this. Some of them will drop out. You see what issues we have in Nigeria. Some of them will be so shocked, they will have mental shock, they won't continue with education. And God will ask anybody who is sitting in JAMB office and WAEC office now, they will have to account for those children and whatever happens to them. We're not looking at other things, how it affects other effects of our life with them. Then on that blueprint, let's quickly go on. The inflation rate, 21.88%.
On paper.
Yeah, that's the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. This, I said they should stop these things. They should stop these things. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to check inflation rate, as if I am always talking about my local market, if you go to Ogbete, take it to Babalada market, go to all the major markets in the world, in Nigeria, where we shop for Agbado and Ewa and all those things our president used to do his campaign. Come out with it. That's when you tell me inflation. You don't sit in Abuja just juggling figures to sound political correct or to look good in the world, and we are dying. If you ask me, this is inflation rate according to NBC and MBS. They should come and ask us, the wretched of the earth of Nigeria, our own inflation rate, we will give them. When they come, we find the inflation rate of Nigeria is almost 60-something%. This is the real fact. There are evidences abound to give Nigeria this 21 is just to pass by. Then on Sunday, Independent, Saturday Independent, UNN is in silent struggle. And I'm a living witness. I've been to UNN recently. The place, UNN is, when I was doing primary physics, somebody said something is K. That's when it's constant. UNN is not just constant. You will see if you enter the gate. And Saturday Independent gave a very pertinent, he said, lion in silhouette. The lion, the royal lion of UNN is now the silhouette of itself. If you cross the gate, you start smelling muco, decay. If you cross UNN gate, I'm not bold to say it, and I don't know how you students and the lecturers there manage. Once you cross the gate, you start smelling muco, decay has entered University of Nigeria and Nsukka, one of the pioneer University of Nigeria, that came to renew
restore the dignity of man.
They left Nigeria. This is it. The pioneer restoration center of the dignity of an African man is left in decay. It's not far. So from here is 1 hour 30 minutes drive. Enter UNN. You will smell decay from gate. The entrance, everything is decay. The paints have gone. Everything is turning dusty. Buildings are everything. UNN is collapsing. It's not a big story. The thing is there. So I know that the people who are, of course, the governor of Enugu State knows, has interest. I don't know who is the visitor to the school or the vice chancellor or pro chancellors. Whatever they do, they're only answering names. That place is in middle of decay. Now, ADC on Okonjo-Iweala's comment. I have mentioned that yesterday. Okonjo-Iweala, the point she's talking, is a refined economist. She has her own point. But I'm saying, if you fly in from WTO office, stop in Aso Rock to see, and the figures you talk, and then you will not understand. Everything is stable. Economy is not like our security. Our economy is stable. It wasn't stable when they introduced fuel to be sold at 1,500 naira. People struggle, it stabilized at an average of 1,000 naira. That's the stability they're telling us. They should just mind them. If you don't know what to say, somebody has garnered, the musician said it takes million man to build, but it takes one single error to destroy all that is done. So Kojiwala is our daughter. We are proud of her. If she goes to her father's house in Ibuzo, she will see stability. If she goes to her husband's house in Abia State, she will see stability. Don't just fly in from. And of course, I said, if I'm earning 29 million a month as a member of NAS, the economy is stable. If I'm earning in dollars, like Okonjo-Iweala, the economy is stable. There's nothing I can't buy. So what is the stability is when you are battling. I was battling to come to this place because I had only 300 naira, and the boss says it's 400. So it's battle. So I'm not stable. They are stable. And it's so insensitive of them to use their level of stability to measure ours. It is not stable. Nigerian economy is not stable. Okonjo-Iweala, with your due respect, because there's no need for me to go around. Okonjo-Iweala shouldn't have made this statement. I don't know for what he want to score. Should have kept quiet in empty and you earn your dollars, come here, change it, $1 gives you almost 2,000 naira. That's the stability, not wickedness. Who are they talking to? This is so annoying. We are not stable. Our economy is not stable. So nobody come to provoke us because we already provoked. Let us leave us with a stable economy. Don't comment. Don't give us false figures. Because there's nothing you are showing. Okay, what's the evidence? You are economists from WTO. What's the evidence that our economy is stabilized? You come to talk, you visit the president, which is quite fine. You can give him internal advice. But don't come and make such statement, and the world will hear you. And the people have been battling with it. So if ADC replies, Okonjo-Iweala is like his opposition. It's not. I'm not a member of APC, ADC, or any of the C's. But that statement is not acceptable to me. So let it be my word against her. She can be from any height she's talking from. But I am not stable economically. And if I am not counted, use the people in my shoe to measure. Put the ones who are economically stable on the side. Give us let's see the ones that are stable. There's a lot of false information going around Nigeria, and we cannot keep quiet. British Airways drops to 8 passengers because of London-bound passengers over 40 dollars. We now say even the British Airways also have.
Even the rich also cry, right?
So 58 passengers. If it's in Nigeria, they will use plier to open the door to pick 58. 58. You know how much? But these people said, let's get back to a location to open this door instead of opening our nyash in Nigeria to be able to pick 58 passengers. They just took the one they have because the door could not open. It has a hydraulic or mechanical fault, and that is maturity. A lot of madness is going on in the aviation industry. Yeah, correct. But that's why we are saying it will touch everybody. They will abandon us with the roads, and they're all flying now because they can fly. The elites of Nigeria that would not just put us where we are, we get their own share, and they are getting their own share. If it's not rough fight, even when they hide inside those the aircraft, there will be fights. Telling you that there's no safe place for the wicked. Then let's go. This is Nigeria we have. Tribune by-elections, 12 states, ADC, APC, PDP, their test of strength. That's what it should be. Yesterday we read that it is one organization is telling APC and INEC not to muffle or suppress the opposition. So because they were saying that in that headline yesterday said ADC, PDP, all those battle INEC. And I was alarmed. I was expecting that ADC, APC, PDP, Labour should battle themselves. Why is now the umpire? That's the irony of Nigerian political structure. When the political parties battle with the umpire. Let me say the result is already written, because if I am the person who will score you and you are fighting me, I always say 0, 0, 0. And the computer will read 0 and error. Because my father told me that you're as good as your boss say you are. So if the INEC is the boss and they are battling with the parties, the result is already known. So Let's send the requirements to the Nigerian democratic process, because what is on the ground, it continues in the recent future. I don't see where we're going. So you better have it in mind. So for some people who are talking and they're hoping with what is going on, look at it, only by elections. See, well, God will help us. Yeah. We can trust. INEC include the SDP after court order. That's what you were seeing off and on although that the news deadline that LP Abure's camp has been dropped, and how APC coerces opposition. That sounds interesting. And if you want to get the fish, you put what that thing they put in
bait.
The book, the bait. You put it on the APC has perfected the act of coercing politicians, and we say kudos to them. I mean, who won't want people into their camp, but let them also teach other parties what they do, because if you are controlling the Commonwealth and they're using it to coerce, then this equality, we are now fighting on equal ground.
Yes, yes.
And homosexuality, scandal in Catholic Church. Wow. Ndị be anyị si na agwọtalụ Anglican Church na Chipia Catholic Church and so weird, because it was at the Anglican Church first saw this coming. They broke out with the Church of England, and they had the independent Church of Nigeria. And because of this confusion in our cultural and religious values, now this homosexuality scandal hitting the Catholic Church, I think is another scandals too many, because we have heard of abuse of Reverend Fathers, and even the late Pope tried to handle it in a way he did, but it's not good for when the hunter becomes the hunted. Let our reverends and pastors ask for more grace from God, so that they can keep all their vows and not mess it up, because it's disheartening. If people run to church for so-called and spiritual help, and now it becomes worse, it's like running from fire to frying pan, especially when you are from Nigeria.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
God bless Nigeria, bless all the people of the world, only for those who deserve to be blessed.
Are we in the position to say that? But then
yes,
God bless you, Chris.
God does not throw blessings. He keep it, but if you do reject it, He won't force it through your mouth.
Yeah, there are principles.
God's blessing abounds to all. For those who want it, I will go for it.
That's right. God bless you, Chris. Thank you so much. And God bless you. Stay tuned. Don't go away. Your day continues after this break.